Well, indeed, a week of significant political change in the country, but many South Africans are expressing hope in the new leadership. Let's take a listen.
I really don't know what to expect. I am hoping for better leadership, and also the economy suffered a great deal in the past 10 years. I'm hoping that'll change. But hey, honestly speaking, I really don't know.
Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, I'm very glad that Mr. Zuma is finally out, and I hope that you can use this opportunity to finally fight corruption and uplift South Africa to what it can finally be, instead of where we have been for the last 10 years. So all of South Africa is pretty much looking at you, and we have a lot of hope in what you can do for our country.
I think President Ramaphosa will make a change whereby he'll take out corruption and create jobs for the youth. Because now you see every youth now they're passing matric and they're jobless and they don't have bursaries and everything. And the previous presidents, they've been promising and not delivering. I hope he's going to deliver.
Well, let's get to you the very latest from South Africa now. We're joined from Cape Town by CGTN's Renee Delcam on the line with us. Renee, of course, it's barely 24 hours since Cyril Ramaphosa was sworn in as South Africa's new president. Why the rush? Why is it so important that he deliver the State of the Nation address today?
Well, let me just take you back just a few days, Lindy. And the thing that's been going through my head in South Africa right now, it's such a heady political period. We've seen such sudden change in this week. A huge difference that a day makes. For example, on Monday, we saw that the country was still in limbo after last week's SONA had to be postponed because of the tension and confusion around the transition of Jacob Zuma. On Tuesday, the ANC said enough is enough. Jacob Zuma's time has come. He simply has to go. And they recalled him. On Wednesday, 24 hours later, a defiant Jacob Zuma finally falls on his sword, does the honorable thing, and resigns. On Thursday, Parliament hears that his resignation letter has been accepted by the Speaker. Minutes later, we have a new president, 24 hours after Jacob Zuma, less than 24 hours after Jacob Zuma resigned. Suddenly, we go from a president who defiantly tried to say until the very last, and we see the new president come in, and he's talking about hope and dignity and humility in serving the people. A whole new political climate in South Africa in just 24 hours. And then today, 24 hours later, we're going to see Cyril, as he affectionately is known in South Africa, the president of South Africa, the new president, Cyril Ramaphosa, read South Africa the State of the Nation address. And it's just that. What is the state of South Africa right now? A brand new president, completely unprecedented for this to happen, that a brand new president who has just been installed delivering the State of the Nation address. Of course, he will be leading up to Monday and Tuesday, when we would have to debate the State of the Nation address on Monday. On Tuesday, he would have to respond in Parliament on what the content of the State of the Nation address means to South Africa going forward. This, of course, had to be put on the calendar so that we can have the budget speech take place on the 21st of February on Monday. That, of course, is also a very important annual event, not only for South Africa, but for the outside world, especially when it comes to investor confidence in this country.
And indeed, Renee, a lot of anticipation about the big speech tonight. What are South Africans expecting to hear from Cyril Ramaphosa? Do we think it's going to be a marked departure from the Zuma rhetoric that we've become used to?
Well, the State of the Nation address is sort of a report card, a progress card of where we are as a nation, as I just said. So while one would imagine that much of the content, the facts, the figures would be very similar to a speech that might have been delivered by the former President Jacob Zuma. But there is no doubt, especially if you look at the past 2 days and you look at Cyril Ramaphosa's track history, there's no doubt that the tone will be very different. Remember, Jacob Zuma, for a while now, has been widely regarded in this country as an alleged corrupt populist. Cyril Ramaphosa, on the other hand, is known as an articulate politician and a man of the people. In his first presidential address yesterday, you saw him talking about how he would try not to disappoint the nation, how he would be the servant of the people. So South Africans are looking to him to get the unity back on, the unity and reconciliation that we started out with in 1994, to get that back on track. But they will also be looking for a very strong message when it comes to economic recovery in South Africa for the year ahead.
Well, thank you so much, Renee Delcam, joining us there on the line from Cape Town, where, of course, at Parliament this evening, Cyril Ramaphosa makes his first State of the Nation address.